Now we're going to move on to a kite. This method also could be used for a rhombus, so we've got two different options for a rhombus. So with a kite, again, the trick is to be able to cut it correctly. So if I cut this down one of my diagonals, then I'm going to end up with two triangles. And that's what we're going to do. And then I'm going to rearrange those triangles to make a shape we already know about. So I've got those two triangles arranged like that. Now if I flip one of these over and put it up here, I've got myself a parallelogram. And we know how to work out the parallelogram. It's the base times the height. So you could think maybe this is base times height, except where did we get those two numbers from? The base here of that parallelogram we're going to form is that first diagonal. And the height is half of the other diagonal. So what we've got here is a diagonal times the half of the other diagonal. Now I'm going to abbreviate that. I'm going to just say it's a half diagonal times diagonal. Now, we don't like to use height and breadth for that because it's a bit more confusing with a kite. So we tend to say that's a half x times y, where x and y are our two diagonals. So let's put that into practice. So I've got a little kite here, similar to what I got, a bit hard to read. It's 10 meters by 20 meters. So I want to get the area. Then I'm going to have a half of 10 meters. So that would be the height there times the 20 meters. And so if I put that now in my calculator, I get 100 meters squared. Again, remembering to put my units. Now this thing here is another kite. It's a little bit more confusing. It doesn't look like what we'd normally consider a kite. But the key with the kite, remember, is that it's got a pair of equal sides next to each other and a pair of another equal sides next to each other. So that, in fact, is a kite. And if I cut this, we can see we could actually rearrange that into a parallelogram. So it doesn't matter that it looks a bit different. It's still a kite. And its area is going to work out the same. So it's going to be a half of one of my diagonals, and it doesn't really matter which one I do, times the other diagonal. And I put that in my calculator, and again I said it's meters, so it becomes meters squared.